Hi, everybody. This is Gary Williams, and today I'm going to be talking with Kevin, who took my course, Drum Set Artistry Mastermind, Hands, Feet, Rhythm and Beats, Become a Master of Your Drumming. And so I just wanted to ask you a few questions, Kevin, about the class and get your feedback just to share with some of the people in the group. So my first question is, what originally inspired you to want to take this course?
Well, I got to a certain level in my playing where I felt like I kind of plateaued, and I had been looking for something. I thought about taking some private instructions, private lessons or something, and so then I saw your course, and we had talked about it, and I just wanted, and I needed somebody to help me get over this little plateau, this kind of funk that I was in, and after talking, you and I had a good conversation on the phone talking about the class, and so I decided, yeah, I was going to go for it, and it just kind of needed some direction and help, help getting on the right path.
Right. Excellent. Great. So how did you feel about your drumming before taking this course?
I I felt I've been playing for a long time. I know I felt like I should be better than where I am, where I am currently was, and I know it was just in part that I didn't have a good practice routine. I didn't have a good, any like good fundamentals, and I just kind of went away from all the basic stuff that I learned, the fundamentals, the rudiments, and stuff, that I learned as young when I was younger, and and so I felt like I was pretty decent player, but I know I just needed some guidance to get better and improve my overall playing. And so I feel like I'm all decent, but I knew that I could go to the next levels.
Great. Good. So what were your drumming weaknesses or problems that you wanted to solve by taking this course?
Really, like I say, it was the getting some guidance and instruction on a good practice routine, good fundamentals to work on. Go back to the base art over and techniques and your rudiments, and then translate that kind of stuff to the drum set itself. And it's kind of to me, it was real surprising at how everything starts with those fundamentals, and how over so many years of not doing it and not focusing on that, you just kind of you get comfortable playing behind the kit, and you go away from all the stuff that got you there in the first place.
Right.
And so for me, it was a real eye opener to be like, hey, take a step back, let's start over again and work through these, and you can clearly see the progression helping. And
Excellent. Well, good. And hopefully, with this introduction to the material, again, it was maybe from a perspective that at this point in your playing, you could understand better, and perhaps maybe it even made more sense to you than it did earlier on. So
oh
that's,
yeah, absolutely.
that's great. Great. Were you nervous to take this course?
A little bit, just because I hadn't taken any lessons, I hadn't done anything since, I hadn't done any classes like this or anything since I was in high school. Um, and so it was, at first I was kind of, well, I wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if I was at the right level to be
Mm.
taking a class like this. Maybe this was out of my league, maybe or something. And so there was that kind of apprehension at first, and then but then we got into the class and we were talking and stuff, and it's just you automatically made it comfortable, and for anybody's level, anybody, any whatever level you're at, you could easily take this class and you can benefit from it. So
Wow, that's great. Good. Yeah. What did you most want to gain by taking this course?
well, like I mentioned, like getting a good practice routine was something that I really wanted to, and you and I talked about those during the private lessons and coming up with ideas. And I think for me, that was the biggest thing, is just having an idea of what to focus on in practice, and how to accomplish that, and what, like in setting aside the time and coming up with the route, the schedule, and then, like for myself, like, and then like we had talked about, you coming up okay, let's work on this for 20 minutes. Let's work on this for 20 minutes. And then you can do this for afterwards, and you work on your techniques and the fundamentals and the rudiments and stuff. And so for me, it was big about getting a practice routine, and just kind of having that leadership and the guidance to point me in the right direction and give me help me get, figure out what I needed to work on.
Excellent. Very good. Did you learn the things you wanted by taking this course?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Good. Awesome.
Absolutely. And then some things to focus on after the class now. Like, here's some other ideas. Use these, these instructional booklets and stuff to continue progressing, and incorporate these into your practice routine and stuff. And so it's been great. I've learned a lot over the last 8 weeks. It's been fantastic.
Awesome. Good. How do you feel about your drumming now that you have taken this course?
I'm more excited. I look forward to practicing and getting writing out the schedule, that I'm gonna work on, and getting the new material, the instruction books that we talked about, and it's become more exciting and more, and again, it's like I mentioned earlier, it's a breath of fresh air again. So I look forward to it instead of just coming down and playing along with songs and playing along. I felt like I was playing the same things over and over again, and now I'm more excited about it. I have something to look forward to, and I feel I can tell myself, I can see myself progressing, and the techniques that we talked about, the techniques that we worked on and stuff, I can definitely see myself incorporating those into my playing, and finally, like, kind of getting over that plateau that I felt like I was at for so many years.
Wow, that's pretty huge. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Good. What surprised you the most about this course?
What surprised me most was a lot of the stuff that we had talked about, was stuff that I knew or that I had learned in the past. And it was just something that you get so far away from it, and it was just a good reminder to get back to the beginning and work on those fundamentals are everything, and those techniques, and these stuff that you learn when you first start playing in school, a band or something. You learn these techniques, you learn your rudiments, you learn all this, and then you start playing in a band or something, and you kind of get away from working on that kind of stuff. And then we had talked about one of the lessons, the writing out the roadmap for your songs, and reading, the reading music and stuff. And it's something that I haven't done for so many years. But then when we started talking about building the roadmap for the songs, that was something that I had done. And I was like, oh, wow, like, I do know a lot of this stuff. I just got away from doing it, and now I just need to go back and relearn those. And so it surprised myself at how much I had already learned this, but I had forgot and wasn't working on. And so for me, that was kind of nice to see that, hey, I do know this stuff.
Yeah.
I just got to work on it. And
yeah. And chances are, like a lot of us, you were introduced to it. You were somewhat familiar with it, but probably didn't really spend too much time with it. And now you got a new perspective, and maybe some more additional information about how to do things, so you can speed up the learning curve, and obviously lots more stuff to add to that. So great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Would you recommend this course to other drummers?
I would, absolutely. I mean, if you're looking for, if you're at that same level, that same spot I was, that you hit a plateau and you just kind of need some guidance to get you on the right path. I mean, like Gary, you have a ton of information, and the way you deliver private lessons and the classes and stuff, it's all great information. And the private lessons, you're willing to work on whatever I want to work on at the time, and I mean, we spent one whole lesson just trying to work on, like the hi-hat foot and working on that. And then I mean, just you'll take it at whatever level that the player is at. And so if you're somebody out there that is in the same situation I was, you're kind of stuck in a rut. And this is a great way. I mean, a great way to kind of help yourself get out of there and come up with different ideas and techniques to work on. Get yourself a good practice routine and work on it. You'll definitely see yourself improving.
Excellent. Here's the last question. It's a big one.
Uh-oh.
Any additional comments that you have? Anything else you'd like to add?
No, like I said, like who's looking at trying to improve, no matter what level you're at, like I think that anybody could benefit from the instruction that you give. Learn, the different classes. Each week is something different. Each week is something different to focus on. A lot of us get away from sight reading or reading music or something, and so kind of sitting down, listening to the songs that you give us and writing them out and trying to transcribe them and stuff. Like that stuff's hard, it takes a long time to work on to get it down. But the songs that you chose in this group, it's easy enough, but not easy enough. I mean, they're good examples of how you can hear it one way, but when you write it out, you see it differently. And I just think overall the instruction, the private lessons have been a big help. And so,
excellent.
Yeah, if anybody is thinking about it, I would definitely do it. I would recommend it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you taking the time to kind of answer these questions and share your experience with some of the other members of the group. I know there's other drummers that are going to be on the fence about it and they're thinking about it, but maybe what you have to say will inspire them to want to really invest in themselves so they can really take their drumming out of those ruts, re-energize their drumming mojo,
Yeah.
and have fun growing and knowing you've got a plan that's going to get you where you want to go. And you're not just hoping, but now so.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Great. Well, it was awesome having you in the class. You really made a lot of great contributions, great discussions. So I thank you for doing the course. And there's more stuff coming up in the future, but I'm sure you'll hear about it as we get closer. Otherwise, thanks so much, Kevin. We'll see you at our next lesson.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.